That to be a woman is to be human. And to be human is to seek perfection and find joy in never attaining it. It is this idea that keeps me going. That though what has happened for me so far has felt incredible, I am still a work in progress and hope to always be. I stand here not knowing what is next. What I do know is that I'm here in this moment because I was raised in a family of unconditional love and support. An environment that assumed my strength, my ability, my power. I want to express how grateful I am for that, while also understanding that women around the world are not yet always taught by their immediate environment that they are strong, powerful, beautiful, and equal. I know that as I contemplate what is next, I want to honor the legacy of my family and help us create a better future for young women around the world. Thank you.
Today, we are going to challenge the stereotypes that heal the mind and empower the soul. So today, we are tackling a viral and painful claim that Black women are the least desirable. Of course, it's in the dating scene. So if you ever felt that sting or the struggle to understand where this comes from, you are not alone. So is it true, or is it a myth or ignorance built on racism, colorism, and the outdated beauty standards? Recently you've seen a video of actually a fellow woman calling the likes of Lupita Nyong'o to be that not all blacks, she was saying not all blacks are beautiful. So she was referring to Lupita Nyong'o. So these state, because when look this, she looks like a lighter, compared to Lupita Nyong'o. Now she felt that Lupita Nyong'o is not beautiful enough. So if we the blacks we are pushing this narrative, what will those others think of the black women in the society?
This message is for Black women and Black women only. Answer this question. So statistics show that only 26% of Black women will marry in their lifetime from any race. 26% of Black women will marry in their lifetime. My question is, why do you guys think that is? Why do we have such low marital rates? And I'm not talking about Black women marrying Black men. I'm talking about men of all race wanting or desiring to marry a Black woman. Why are we so undesired when it comes to marriage? Now, I know there's percentage who don't want to be married, right? But there's a large percent of women, Black women, who want to be married. But again, why is that the case? Why is that? I think if we start to really sit down and think about why statistics are what they are, they're not there for just for just any reason, right? There's reasons behind it, and I think that there's a plethora of reasons, and from my opinion, of why I believe that those statistics are what they are and why we are the lowest. We have the lowest marital rates as Black women. But I want to hear from you ladies. What do you think, and why do you think that's the case as to why we are where we are when it comes to being, chosen from?
Every time I get on here, I see stuff from dating coaches and I guess well-meaning people talking about how Black women are the bottom of the dating pool. When they surveyed people, Black women were the least desirable to their own race and the least desirable to other races. And as someone who's traveled extensively, I'm going to tell you that that's not true. First of all, I want to see what that population sample size is, and it's probably American. Because as someone who's been to Europe, who's been to Eastern Europe, and who's been to many parts of Africa, let me tell you that that's not true. I've seen way too many interracial kids, way too many Black and white German kids, Polish kids for that to be true. But there seems to be this concerted effort in the United States to continuously remind Black women of their place. Because I never placed myself at the bottom of the social dating rank until people kept telling me, oh yeah, Black women are the least desirable. Who said? And this rhetoric and I guess propaganda, in my opinion, is very obvious to me because I was raised around other Black people. I was raised in Black spaces and was told that it's okay to be who I am. Coming to the United States is the first time that I've been in trouble for being myself. In the moment, the feedback was, why is she so confident? Or kind of like, oh, she's my wild child, or she's so wild. When in hindsight, I was just acting like a white boy in terms of confidence and the knowing that I belong in this space, because I was not raised in the United States. I was not raised with these subtle messages telling me as a Black woman all the time that I need to be knocked down a few pegs. I don't shrink myself in white spaces or spaces that are not predominantly Black women, because it doesn't matter. I know that I belong there and I deserve to be there no matter what. Black women in the United States are beaten down psychologically and have been told that they have a place and they need to stick to it. We're told to tame our hairs, tame our clothing, tame how we speak, tame every single aspect of ourselves in order to be okay in certain spaces, whereas everybody else can be disheveled and messy and their true selves. And it's heartbreaking when I see this as a Black person that doesn't conform, because on one hand, I get in trouble all the time in white spaces when I don't know my place. But at the same time, I'm in these spaces, I meet Black women, women of color that are much more competent, know much more about what's going on, but do not speak up. And I understand them. I understand why they feel this way, because speaking up, as I mentioned, gets you in trouble. And it's so heartbreaking to me. And I guess my takeaway from this to Black women in the United States is to leave this country. Okay? Go to Germany. You don't even have to go to Africa. Go to Europe. Skip France. But go to Europe. And I promise you, you're something in your brain is gonna like shift, and you're gonna understand that you've been brainwashed your whole life, and it's not true.
2 Black men and a bot just told me that nobody's attracted to Black women. I believe the problem is everybody's attracted to Black women, and that's why they're trying so hard to tell us that we're unattractive. We don't even have to be amazingly beautiful for you to be attracted to us. The world is literally obsessed with Black women, and there is no doubt about it. The older I become and the more into myself I become, I realize that that's it. Like, all the time I thought it was hate, it's actually love, because there is a thin line. Nothing moves, nothing shakes without Black women's involvement. Think about it. Anytime a white person wants to go viral on the internet, what do? They either say something really nice and come across oh so humble, or they'll do something to agitate us and shake up the hornet's nest. The thing is, though, it's not working. I mean, it's not working like it used to. So now they're going out of their way and individually going on to our profiles and letting us know, while we're minding our business, that nobody cares for us and nobody is attracted to us, nobody wants us. The problem is, you want us and you don't know how to process those feelings because you don't know why you want us. You're attracted. Don't try to explain it, don't fight it, just go with it. When Black women decided to sit down in 2025, it also included not reacting to idiots on the internet. And because I am a matter of a fact girl, I take it for what it is and I say what I think and move on. This isn't a complaint, this is an observation, and I am documenting my thoughts just because that's what I do now on social media. You can't see it, but I just got hyped up. There is no Black woman you can ask and they not respond with, I love being a Black woman.
So this idea did not start in dating world. This idea started during the slavery, during the colonial time, where Black women were pushed into harmful stereotypes. Black women were called Jezebel, which literally means overly sexual, wild, used to justify their abuse. And there's this, the mommy, the word mommy, which used to refer to the lovely caretaker or nurturing, but seen as undesirable. Then there are strong Black women. So these are women who are more resilient, emotionless, and not soft or lovable. Now these stereotypes, erase the softness, the romance, and the femininity from the society, which viewed Black women. You've seen Hollywood and media, which has pushed a Eurocentric beauty, light-skinned, straightened hair, small features, rewarding, or they are ideal to them, they feel like they are rewarding, then we often see that the darker features are often cast aside. You've seen that, or if you're black, you have to be so melanated that you can stand out, from others, so that maybe you can be picked. Then if you go around the dating apps, you see, and you analyze, you see numbers, you see data, that shows a different thing, So there have been studies from apps like the OkCupid and Tinder, which shows a trend where black women statistically receive fewer matches compared to other races. So even one black woman even was forced to change, her race to white, and her matches skyrocketed. So this woman literally, tried to change the dating profile from black to white, and the matches were, mind blowing. So these numbers don't reflect the beauty; it reflects the biasness that the society, the white, have given these out of black women. So most women of all races prefer dating within their race. Black women also tend to be more selective because they face both racism and sexual fetishization. You know. Now, although the algorithm is trained on biased users' interaction, we usually push the lighter skin profile forward. So the system itself is good. So it's not only the people, but also the system, because they feel like people are likely to click on the light-skinned women than the dark-skinned women.
There are long-term consequences to years and years of social programming that tells us that black women are the least desired. And on top of that, when you incorporate colorism and fat phobia, the reason why a lot of black women don't know how to date is because we never had the options or the chance to date. If we're already the least desired demographic, it then becomes a game of, well, if black women are the least desired, then who of us is the most desired out of all of us being least desired? And that is where colorism, texturism, featureism, and fat phobia play a significant role. Not to mention, I think that us being the least desired demographic leaves us very vulnerable to being manipulated by men who know that, aka black men. Black men know that we're the least desired demographic. And for a good bit of them, they use that to their advantage. If black men know that at large black women are not seen, not heard, not valued properly, not appreciated in the workforce, not taken seriously, all those things, all it would really take for a lot of us to feel special is to be noticed. For a lot of black women, the thing that hooked us into a man at first was the fact that he noticed us in a way that society does not. And that is sad in and of itself, but I think that a good bit of black men use that to their advantage. All they have to do is notice you, compliment your work ethic, compliment your skills, compliment you as a person. And for a lot of us, we are hook, line, and sinker because we're so deprived of receiving that kind of recognition in life in general. When you go the majority of your life not being noticed romantically or not being seen and valued in the way that you need, when someone comes along and gives that to you, you latch on. Makes sense to me. And you don't want to let go because there's no telling when you're going to get that same recognition again. I think black men be knowing that and using that to their advantage. I think a lot of us end up choosing poorly because we latch on to the guy who notices us and ignore all their red flags, or we're being love bombed, or we're downright being set up and manipulated into an abusive situation that's going to happen down the line. It's hard to choose properly when you are so deprived of social affirmation. And this idea that we're supposed to only be okay with our approval, sure, but we need for our approval and how we see ourselves to mirror how the world sees us. And if I think I'm the shit, but the world treats me like shit, It's really hard to maintain that self-belief. You need a balance of both. So for a lot of us, we go through our lives thinking we're the shit and being treated like shit by society. And then here along comes somebody treating us like we think we're the shit and matching us. Latching on is going to happen. We're going to ignore the red flags. We're going to ignore the bullshit because he sees me. And I'm not usually seen like this. I get that. And I think that plays a role in why we see black women choose poorly.
There's a so-called study where once a black woman claimed they were objectively less attractive. Though it was later debunked. Why? Because the beauty is culturally defined and constantly changing. So look at the reality. We have seen very beautiful women who are standing out. People like Beyonce, Rihanna, Naomi Campbell, Thames. You've seen Lupita Nyong'o. You've seen Serena Williams. So these are women who are dominant or have dominated the global beauty trends. So black women are not just following beauty culture. They are the beauty themselves, or the culture of beauty themselves. And when it comes to marriage, you've seen rates of relationship statistics where many single black women cite preference standards and self-respect, and which they say it's lack of desirability from other races. Seeing, sometimes how black women, portray themselves, it brings a very bad picture. How many of you here have seen videos of actually black women fighting in a mall? Black women like stripping each other naked. So even people, will feel ashamed to be associated, with this kind of races, because what kind of picture, what kind of picture will the so-called your husband, have or receive the reputation? So black women sometimes we tend to conduct ourselves very bad. That's why even the system looks red, but the system is speaking the truth. So when you go on social media, we'll see that many black women share stories about feeling overlooked due to colorism or being, stereotyped as aggressive or masculine. So most of these experiences usually are valid and they are very painful, but thousands of others celebrate their beauty. They are openly cherished by partners of all races. The movement like the Black Girl Magic, and the Melanin Goddess exist for reason, because you've seen black women who are claiming, are defining, which are shining on their own desirability. So there are women who are standing out, there are women who are, very peculiar, very beauty, that even they don't, matter what the society think of them. So the question is, are black women truly less desirable? So on my side, I'll say no. Yeah, it's a very big no. Black women are not less desirable. Black women are loved across, everywhere. You've seen the dating profile on Facebook, on Twitter, on X, where white men, they feel attracted to black women. So they're often less prioritized by the biased system built on outdated beauty standards. But in reality, black women are loved, they are desired, they are celebrated, they are defined by what beauty in today's world means. So desirability is not universal, it's taught. And right now the world is unlearning or reimagining, reimagining what these beauty standards looks. So what about you? Does this male or myth still applies to you? Do you feel like black women are the least desirable in the dating society? So thank you for watching, and remember, black women are not stereotype, they are a standard. No. So don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your friends. Till next time, peace out.